Alright, welcome to another inDesign beginner to advanced course. In this lesson, we want to learn how to create a case activity tracing book. And there is no audio in this video because I think that it is the best way for a student to learn. And when there is no audio, the student pays close attention to it, and then when the person gets the idea, the student keeps the idea forever. So let's go ahead and create a new document. We want the margins to be 0.75 inches on all sides. Now let's break it and make the top margin 0.5 inches. We want to turn off facing pages. Let's add a bleed of 0.125 inches on all sides. Let's click OK. Now pick your type tool. And type in the letter A. We want a size of 168 points. Let's go ahead and then change the font. We want to use open source sans, open source 1 semi-bold, open source 1 semi-bold. Now let's drag it upwards. Let's control the fitting. Now go ahead and then hold Alt and duplicate it. Let's work on this. So go ahead and select your text. And then we want a fill of none. And then we want a stroke of black. So let's go to the stroke panel and then change the size to 4 points. Let's pick our selection tool and then drag it upwards to the margin. Now select this. Now let's change the size to 71 points. Make sure you control the fitting. Now let's drag it downwards. Pick your line tool. Then you want to draw a straight line. Hold shift and then drag it to the other point of the margin to create your line. Alright, so let's change the stroke size to 3 points. Pick your selection tool, hold Alt and then duplicate it. Now leave it at the place that you feel is okay. Now let's change the stroke type. Let's change it to dotted. Now let's go ahead and duplicate this once more. And when it reaches a place that the sizes are equal, the space is equal, it will get stuck and you just leave it there. Now let's pay this A to the line. Now use your arrow keys to drag it upwards. Let's go ahead and select the lines. Let's make sure that they are all distribution, the spacing is okay. So let's click on distribute horizontal space over there. Now select the A and drag it to a place that you feel that is okay. Now select it again, hold Alt and then drag it to the other side. Now let's leave it there, and let's use our arrow keys to add more to it, to duplicate it. So you can try your top arrow key to add more to it. Now with this, you have to lower the tint of it. So you could have lowered the tint before duplicating it. So select it and then make sure you lower the tint to 20%. Do this to all the A characters except the first one. Now you could also make it the letters dotted, so you can add a stroke and make the stroke dotted. Okay, so with this, it will only work for you if you change the text into an outline. If you want to make the text dotted, you have to change it into an outline. So go to text and then create outline. Now you can change the stroke type. So with it selected, you just go to your stroke panel and change the stroke type. And there you see it. Now you could increase the size if you want. Let's go back to where we were. Now remove the stroke of this letter. Now select it. Make sure you drag the A somewhere so that you don't select the A to be part of it. So let's drag it upwards and then control the fitting. Now select again. We want to have to change or group it. So object and then group. Now select again and then hold Alt Shift and then drag it downwards to duplicate it in a straight line. Now select all and then use your top arrow key to drag it upwards. Now select all again, then drag it upwards. Now let's control the margins. You can change it if you want. You can change your size to 0.125. So we just change the down margin to 0.5. Can also do same and change the down margin to 0.5 inches. Now let's go and make sure that they are all aligned to the margin, and then let's distribute the spaces. So let's distribute vertical spaces. Then now we have all the spaces to be the same. Now bring this back to where it was. That's okay. Now let's go ahead and bring in our image. I want to bring in the Apple image. So go into exercise files and then case activity exercise or case activity tracing book. Now Ctrl Z and then drag it to paste it or place it. Now control the size. Now select the A and the apple, and make sure that in the properties they are all aligned at the bottom. Alright, so there we go. You can go ahead and then change some of the words to maybe A is for apple. So when you ungroup it, you can then change it into something like A is for apple. So before you select, make sure you ungroup it. If not, you cannot make the selection. So go to object and then ungroup. Select the other characters and then delete them. Now let's delete these characters and leave one that is tinted or that has lost its tint. Now let's write is for apple. Now we want it to be a lowercase, not caps. So if this font is not working for us to be able to use a lowercase letters, then let's make sure to use a different font. Right, so one thing is that when we are choosing our font, we should choose a good font that will align with our lines for us. Okay, so make sure that the S height aligns with the line, and the other ones to make sure that they all align with the line. So choose good fonts, or even you can also use your control panel for the character formatting controls to also do something to your text in order for them to align with the lines that you create. So we have A is for apple. And we can do many things. Let's delete the ones that we just selected. So you select and then we delete it. Before that, let's duplicate the page, so right click and then duplicate. Then let's work on the second page. Select this, then delete it. So you can draw your table, or you can use your rectangular to draw a shape. So let's make the body 2 and the column also 1, then hit OK. So just right click to place it. Now every text or every table is a text frame, so you can just select it and then you change the color. If you don't select it, you cannot change the color, so unless you select it and then you change the color. Now when you want to do anything to it, you just go to your tables, and then you can either delete, add, or do anything to it with the table panel. So you can just delete a row. Now you have 2 rows now. Now let's pick a rectangular 2 and then draw 2 rectangles. Now let's go ahead and then duplicate the apple and then bring it into the box. Now let's resize it. And then duplicate it 3 times or 2 times. Now let's go ahead and then select this, ungroup it, and pick one text from it, or we can just create a text frame and then write something there. Like how many apples are in the box. Depends on what you want to write. Count the apples in the box or anything. So how many apples are in the box? Now let's use the same font, open source sans, and then make the font size 19 and then add some tracking to it. So 410 is okay. Now let's place it at a good place. Let's go ahead and duplicate it. Ctrl A to select it. and then change it to equal to, and then let's increase the size. Now we can also do a different thing, so let's go ahead and then select this, drag it to the plus sign and duplicate it. Now you could also change this to 3, and then delete the apple and then write 3 in words. So let's pick this, make sure you ungroup it, then duplicate this text, now let's increase the size, select it, so at least 96 points is okay. Now let's place it at a place that we want. So we can do many great things with InDesign. Make sure to explore more things and then do more things with InDesign. So you can just create a case coloring book and other things with InDesign. So you can change this 1 to 3. Make sure you change all this to 3, and I'll be expecting that you finish it and then submit it to me. So you have a place where you submit the work to me in the description. So make sure you finish it and submit it to me. Now you can also change the apple to a mango. I have mango in the size file, so change it to mango and change it to how many mangoes are in the box.